Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I really was inspired to do like some sort of like teal eye thing going on. I've seen so many people do it. I actually thought this was going to turn out a little bit darker than it did. So maybe I'll do like a really dark like blue-green look versus just this kind of lighter look. And see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. First I'm going to take the Smashbox Photofinish primer. And I'm just going to be priming my forehead and across my nose and my chin mainly. Next I'm taking the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in light, and I usually just prime my eyelids with just this and then just pat it in. And I go in and set it with this highlighting shade from the IBY Beauty palette, and it's that first shade right there, Highlight 1. Then I'm going to be taking the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm taking these 3 shades. I don't even remember what they're called, but I just kind of buff them in the crease just to kind of start it off. And I'm going to be taking the Sephora Pro Editorial palette and taking that Helen P shade and kind of setting down that turquoise base for the rest of the eye. Then with this slightly darker shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to pack this almost like in a halo eye kind of thing on the inner and outer corners. And then you see me kind of curve it up in that crease just a little bit to kind of draw them together. And I'm repeating that on the other eye as well. I'm taking Pool Party on my finger and just packing that in the middle of that halo eye. Now I'm going to be taking that darker green shade, and this is where it starts turning a little bit more green versus blue, and then I sort of destroy all that here in a little bit. Just packing on the inner and outer again, and repeating on the other eye. Taking that mustard shade, I'm just buffing that in the crease just to blend them both together, and I do this quite a lot actually. I'm taking this shade Sean from that Pro palette, and this is when it starts turning blue again. And I sort of pack that over the green, and then I'm just buffing all the harsh lines out with a clean brush. I wanted just a little bit more pigmentation, so I sprayed Max Fix Plus on my finger and put Pool Party back on. This is the Ciate London, I believe, eyeliner in Fierce Flicks. It has a really thin felt tip. And I'm just making a line on the top just to help blend our lashes when we put them on later. I'm not doing a wing or anything. For my face, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation in Fair. As you can tell, it's not really that fair. It's a lot more tan than my ghostly little face, but I make it work by using a slightly white casted setting powder. And they kind of balance each other out and just neutralize each other, really. For concealer, I use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. And then I cover up that ugly little pimple that keeps rearing its head. And then turned it upside down for you, just, you know, in case you wanted to read something upside down or something like that. This is the StudioMakeup setting powder. As you can tell, it kind of has a really light cast to it. And I say light instead of white because it doesn't have flashback or anything, but it does significantly lighten your foundation, which is kind of good since this foundation was already kind of crazy dark for me. And so they just kind of neutralize each other out. I'm taking the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer in Park Avenue Princess. This is like the easiest thing to blend ever, and it is such a pretty color. It gives you that bronzy look without really, almost really even showing up. It's so easy to blend. And I just kind of put that on my neck as well, just to kind of transition there. I'm taking the Tarte Amazonian Blush Bazaar. This is their holiday collection, I believe. I'm taking those two bottom shades off the top. I'll link down the names of them below. For brows, I'm going to be taking the NYX Wicked Dreams palette and taking those two brown shades. One's almost a little bit of a purpley brown, but I find that these two work really well together with this little brush, and I just brush up my brows when they're really not well done. As you can tell, it's been a hot minute since I last had them waxed. But anyway, I fill them in this way whenever they get too messy and too big, and I like to make them pretty dark as well. I'm taking Becca's Prosecco Pop, I believe that's how it's pronounced. This is in a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill, I think, and it's kind of like a really warm gold. I really like that color, but I probably wouldn't have paired it with this eye look if I had known how yellow undertone it was, but it still turned out really pretty. Before falsies, I'm putting on the Tarte Amazonian Clay mascara in Gifted, I believe is what it is. Not really sure how you have an Amazonian Clay mascara, but I guess I don't really know what goes into making makeup either. So anyway, I'm just coating my upper lashes right now because I forgot to do the bottom lash, and I don't really like putting color on after I put on mascara just because I think it fades out the black of my mascara. So I'll put that on after as well. Then I take the Jaclyn Hill palette and I mix that darker teal shade with that darker green, and I'm just running that underneath the lash line with a crease brush. And then I take a flat brush and then I really dig in that really dark green shade all the way up underneath my lash line. I take that yellowy mustard shade and I'm just running that along the edges just to kind of blend it just a little bit more. Then for falsies, I'm taking the Tarte Tartiest Pro lashes in Flirt. And I really did like these. They were a little bit too long to be natural, but then they were almost a little bit too natural to be that noticeable. I did like them because they weren't super over the top, but I might choose a little bit thicker ones in the future. Then for lips, I take the Lord & Berry lip pencil. I don't even know what color this is. I'll link it down below, but I go over top of this with my this is Makeup Revolution. I believe it's in Love Nude. It's one of their matte lipsticks, and it looked really pretty, but I still wanted a little bit of light peachiness in the middle, and that's when I went over it with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea lipstick in Beach Babe, and I just kind of dab that on the middle, as you'll see here in a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.